Alright, descriptive geometry, and this time we're trying to find the angle between a line and a plane, because sometimes you need to find actually what that true angle is and that true line is, so that you can construct multiple things that are intersecting. Alright, so for step one, always, let's get it lined up with the horizontal line. Tape it down so it doesn't shift on you. And then we're going to draw those coordinates using that 0.5, using the smallest, lightest lead. We do not want these lines to be dark. And we're going to draw them over horizontally to where they meet here. Now, as we've done probably what 12 drawings with these, where you're finding that true size, true view, true edge, auxiliary view, finding those different lines, you kind of know how to do this now. So we know that it's got to be parallel to a specific line, and then it has to come off perpendicular for it, so that we can actually build the true size, true angle, so forth. So we are going to now draw a line parallel to line 2, 1 through 0.1 given. So this is our profile view. Let's move it up a little bit more. There, maybe you can see it better. There we go. Make sure it's nice and lined up. Tape it down again. Tape it down again. Bring this down. And lightly draw that center line, a little dash hash, you know. We're just drawing it lightly so we can see it. Alright, now we're going to go perpendicular. So we're going to take all those measurements that we found here and bring them down perpendicularly. What I am going to do though is I'm going to do something real quick, because I want to find out what's the smallest distance we need to transfer and the largest distance we need to transfer. The smallest distance we need to transfer is this one, the little a, all the way out to the measurement here to here, the e. So those are the two measurements I know I'm going to have. So I'm going to start with the smallest one. Actually, it's not to here. That would be B. Here is little a, and that's B. Sorry. Okay. Find that little measurement. Get ready, because we're going to need it here in a minute. Actually, I'm just going to get the biggest one, because I want to make sure I draw my lines down perpendicularly, at least enough for this, but not too terribly long. So again, get that measurement, make sure your divider hasn't moved on you. There we go. And there we go. So that's the farthest distance out. I do that just because it makes it a lot easier here in a minute, so I don't bring all the lines down farther than I need them to be. So I bring all those down, and I don't worry about anything else. Right, and so I've transferred E, so now we would find dimension B. Then we would need to find C, which is here to here. And then we need to find D, which is going to be 0.2 here. So we need to find each one of those measurements and transfer them. So we've gotten E already. Let's just go back, work our way backwards. Okay, 2, D. D. C. B. about we just draw them? Don't move on me, stop it. Now we're going to play essentially another giant game of connect the dots. Okay, so now we need to line the points up and find the actual true size, or the true size of this triangle, the actual true size of the triangle over here of 1, 2, and 3. So we're actually going to find that. So let's do that first. Let's just transfer those points. So here's 1. 1 I know goes in the distance of C. So I'm going to follow 1. Here's 1. There's where C meets. So that's 1. And I'm drawing this lightly. I'll go back and darken it in with the 0.9 light later. Okay, next let's find point 2. 2 is distance of D, and it's along this line. 2. And then 3 is distance of B along this line. 3. And for this, if you want to, you can go ahead and draw this in nice and dark with your 0.9. You can go ahead and connect those dots. There we go. So we now have the true size of the triangle. We still need the AB so we can find our piercing point where it pierces through. This could be, for an example, pipe going through something. You need to know where it's going to drill through the point. Okay, so let's find big B. Big B comes here, and it's going to come down. Okay, so if I bring it all the way down, it's going to hit B here. If I'd have been following my own rules, I'd have pulled it on over, but of course I didn't. Okay, so here's big B. Big B is distance A, so I'm going to come back to here, and I know that's going to be where big B is going to go. Big A, and big A is distance of E. It's all the way to the outside. And start by first lightly drawing it, then 0.9 the outside. Because you don't know for sure 100% yet where that piercing point is going to be here on the inside. So we now have line B, A. Alright, now we need to find the triangle. And again, it's that same process of finding our reference line, lining everything up nice and perpendicular with that. I want to draw a line parallel to AB through point 2. I'm actually going to turn the paper sideways and use a triangle to help me do that. That makes it just a little easier for y'all to see. So I'm putting my triangle, lining it up at the bottom of my straight edge. There we go. No, don't move on me, don't move. Dang it, it moved. Pay close attention when it does stuff so it doesn't move on you too much, because we don't want to screw things up. Okay, so I'm now going to be able to draw that line parallel through here. Allows me to get that, and then I can draw my lines over perpendicular. And let's go ahead and get the distances we know first to start with. So I know I need to know F, the distance here. I know I'm going to need to know G, this distance here, and I know my largest distance is going to be H, this distance there. So my largest distance I need is going to be that one, because again, we don't want to draw too far out. We don't have to. Make sure I didn't change any, and I didn't. It's always best to double check. That gives me H. Okay. Okay, after H, find little f. F. Find G. Go ahead and do it on this side then. And again, we play the game of connect the dots, finding everything and lining it up. So let's go ahead and find lines 1, 2, 3. So 1, looking here, I know it goes to G, so it's going to be on this line. And so we're going to find where everything hits. So here's 1. There's where 3 hits. And here's where 2 hits. So there's that line. So that gives me 1. That gives me 2. This gives me 0.3. Just draw a little hatch mark so that I can see that. All right, let's find AB. Okay, so B is on the F and it's along this line, so that will be 2 to here. It's me B. Big A goes to here and it goes all the way out to H. So it would go for here. Now, this gives us our true angle. So this is the actual true angle of the object. These two are. And here in a little bit, you're going to need to measure it using your protractor. So my advice is to go ahead and extend some of those lines out right now just to make it a little easier for you. Because when you put your protractor on here, you need to be able to measure it. So that just gives you some reference points here in a second when we measure it. Okay, now, if we've done this correctly, this line is going to come over to here, and it's going to hit here, and that's going to show us where our piercing point is. That's another reason why you have to find that triangle, because it finds the actual true intersection, that true point of piercing point there. So I've got that one. So this knows that this part is the part I can see, and this becomes hidden on this side. So here is my piercing part, hidden lines. Okay. Same process from here. Now it should come back up, hit, and should be able to come over so we can get it. So we're gonna tape and move it around again. Go back to where I have this parallel. Tape it down. Dang it, my tape is getting bad, so I'm going to get some new fresh tape here in a second. Stay in place, please. Having one of those days. Make sure you lined it up to one of those horizontal lines. Tape it in place. Find where that comes up to, which is there. Bring it over. So we know that the piercing point right here, because I follow it up, follow it over, it's going to be right there. point, and then hidden lines there. All right, all we have left is to find the angle, because we need to know what the triangle is, and this is why I had you bring those lines out. So we're going to get our protractor, line it up, there we go, come on, get right on that spot. Come on. And then you would follow it out, find out whatever it is, and write it down. So in my case, I'm looking at it and I count 10, 20, and keep going. I'm not going to say, because you should be smart enough that you can actually measure this, because I'd be giving you the answer. But you lay it on here, you find out what it is, and that's what your triangle is. And so that what you're going to do, you'll come right here and tell me in degrees what's the triangle. And don't forget to fill out down here in the bottom, go over the same Houston, fill out that title block, put in the date. Today is 03/18/2015. Drawing. Make sure you go over these, because if you're not filling them out, you're going to lose points. Angle, name, so forth, and then I grade it. All right, let's do the next one. You got this.